and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at the Pythia Tarot. This is the great oracle of the Greeks from Deckstiny. This was a deck that I was recently sent. As you can see, it says here Pythia Tarot, 82 tarot cards, which is a lot more than your standard 78. We have the author of Marte Horonuma, the artwork by Umsin Funfat, and the artist Juger. If I haven't said those names correctly, I do apologise. So 82 cards there with 22 majors as usual, 16 minors, 14 court cards and 4 specials. I'm just adding them up in my mind thinking, I think they've got the printing wrong on that because that does not add up to 82. So we'll have a look at what's inside. So you can see here the actual packaging for this is a lovely sturdy cardboard box, which is beautiful because a lot of the previous Deckstiny decks were actually in tuck boxes, so these are really nice to have. You can see this artwork around the edge, which is all sort of Greek imagery, and you can see here the titling again. So inside the box it says Deckstiny. So we'll just pop the box to the back there and then we'll have a look at the cards. The cards are standard tarot size. They have lovely gold holographic edging. I don't know if you can see in the light there. The first card that I've come across here is a certificate. With every Deckstiny deck that I've ever known, I have had a certificate. This proves which number deck you own because they are limited editions. So there are only 1,000 of these first edition Pythia Tarot decks, and this is number 47. So that's the first card. You can see here the card backs, very Greek in design and obviously symmetrical, ideal for reversed readings. We then have a title card which has been signed by Marte, which is really nice to have. That's really quite something, a signed deck. I'm very lucky. And then we have another title card that says Pythia Tarot. And then we have a note card that's quite sweet that I can use. So these are all extras. Whether I can pronounce all these words is another thing. And then we have a golden apple of discord for the fairest. This is Callisti. I've never come across this, but I'm guessing this is like a really good fortune card because it's a golden apple of discord for the fairest. So it's very Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs to me. I'm just going to pop that to one side because I may or may not choose to keep it within my deck. Moving on to the actual deck itself, I've already shown you the card backs. Here we go with the Fool. You can see here there is a lot of Grecian imagery. Very Greek gods, ideal for Key Stage 2 teaching, folks, just saying. Underneath the titling, which is in like a white band where the opacity is obviously at least 40% because you can see through it to the image, there is a sort of a guide, and it says here Dionysus, the god of wine, party and pleasure. So you actually get a god associated with your tarot card, which is really unusual and rather cool because it enables you to actually learn your Greek gods for one, because I will now associate these with the different major Arcana cards. So we've got the Fool there, and then we've got the Magician, who is Hermes, the messenger god of trade, travellers and thievery. That's not a bit different, but the Magician there. You can see all the letters coming out of the bag. It's interesting, but also all the different bits and pieces like apples and flowers and swords, so all the elements there that the Magician would normally carry. The imagery is really unusual. I quite like it. It's different. Then we have the High Priestess, and I can never say Greek names, so just bear with me. Persephone, the goddess of fertility and the queen of the underworld, which fits the High Priestess just perfectly, and the imagery is beautiful. And then we have the Empress. This is always one of my favourite cards. I love how this is very autumnally themed. And we have Demeter, the goddess of harvest and grain. And that is so perfect for the Empress there, being the kind of card of fertility and vitality, if you will. And then we have the Emperor, Zeus, the god of the sky and the ruler of all gods. Where's his lightning bolt? Oh, it's in his hand. There we go. So Zeus being the Emperor. That's cool. And then we have the Hierophant, who is Chiron, the great sage and tutor of heroes. This really works. This is really well thought out. If you're studying Greece, this is definitely the deck for you. We have the lovers here of Aphrodite, the goddess of beauty, love and passion. How cute is she in a little bikini made of shells? I really like that. And then we have the Chariot, which is Ares, the god of war, spirit and battle. Interesting take on it. I like it. Doesn't work for all readings with the Chariot, but I do like that card. And then we have Strength there being Hercules. Oh no, sorry. Have I said that right? Hercules, the glorious gift of Hera and Slayer and the Nemean lion. So Strength. We've actually got 2 Strength cards. So you've got an option here to go feminine or masculine. It's because we've also got Circe, the sorceress of Aea and the original witch of the West. Ooh. If I was to be honest, out of the 2, I'm preferring this young lady. So I'll pop her in my deck and pop this one to one side. Then we've got the Hermit, who is Cronus, the Titan of Time and the King of the Titans. That is so beautifully done. I love how they have him like silver surfing, if you will, with his lantern there. Beautifully done. The Wheel of Fortune being Moray, the triple goddesses of fate and destiny. Perfect. And then Justice being Themis, the Titaness of law, order and justice. I will warn you, my reading of foreign words is quite random at time. I do try though. Then we have the Hanged Man, who is Prometheus, the Titan of forethought and bringer of fire. He doesn't look happy at all. So it's a very unusual Hanged Man card for me there, but okay. There isn't another option with the Hanged Man. I wonder if it'd be the Hanged Woman, but no. We then have Death, which is Hades, the god of the dead and the king of the underworld, and I knew that would be Hades, but nicely done with these golden music notes. It looks rather happy rather than deathly. Temperance, who is Iris, the messenger goddess of rainbow. How gorgeous is this card? I love this, nicely done. And then we have the Devil, which is Iris, the goddess of strife and discord, or Eris, sorry. And then we have the Tower, who's Poseidon, the god of seawater and earthquakes. I wouldn't have actually associated the Tower with Poseidon, but okay. I don't know why I'd have associated the Tower with Zeus, just I think it's the lightning bolts. And then we have the Star, which is Hebe, the goddess of youth. Delightful. And then we have the Moon, which is Hecate, the goddess of magic, witchcraft and crossroads. Really, really interesting. And then we have the Sun, which is Apollo, the god of light, truth and prophecy, of course. And Judgment, who is, oh my goodness, Rhadamanthys, Aeseus and Minos, the judges of the underworld. That's interesting, because obviously judgment from the underworld rather than above. And then we have the World, which is Gaia, the primordial goddess of earth. That is stunning. So moving on to, oh no, I was going to say moving on to the minor arcana, but here we have the Oracle, which is Pythia, the Oracle of Delphi. Yeah. So this is another extra card. And then we have the Oracle, Pythia, Oracle of Delphi again. So we have different versions here. So 2 of them, they are extra cards. I will pop them to one side. So now we move on to the minor arcana with the Ace of Wands, and it does actually give you a goddess for this: Athena, statue, and Athens, or place, sorry. So a statue. Then it moves on to the Two of Wands. Now we just have numbering at this point. We don't have the word wands, but we can see the wands in the imagery, and we don't have the gods or the links or the references there. So we'll have a quick flick through. We've got the 3 of Wands and the 4. Very nicely done. And the 5 and the 6. So very traditional imagery, just like the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. And then we have the 6. And have I missed one? Because for some reason I was on 7 there. There's a 6, sorry. There's a 5. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of Wands. And then we've got the 9. And the 10. So traditional imagery of that overwhelmment. Moving on to the court cards. So we've got the Page of Wands, which is Jason, the leader of the Argonauts. So we have got that band again and some explanation as to the link there. And the Knight of Wands, we've got the link to Icarus, the flying too close to the sun. And the Queen of Wands, we've got Hestia, the goddess of hearth, home and family. So these work really nicely for your court cards. King of Wands, we've got the Hephaestus, the god of blacksmiths, fire and celestial artificer. And then we've got the Ace of Cups, which again, it gives you a place, which is the Hero statue and Argos. I don't mean Argos the shop, folks. Moving on to the 2 of Cups here, and the 3, and the 4, and the 5, and the 6, beautiful imagery, and the 7, I love that, and the 8, and the 9. So very traditional, but Greek imagery, and the 10 there with that rainbow. So Page of Cups, now this is interesting, this one. It says Pandora, the first woman, and the gift from the gods. And then we've got the Knight of Cups, who's, is it Asclepius or Asclepius, the god of medicine? Can't say that, but yeah, interesting. Queen of Cups, the hero, the goddess of marriage and queen of all gods. And the King of Cups being Orpheus, the great bard and the legendary musician. How lovely is that? So the Ace of Swords, again, a place. We've got the Ares statue in Rome. And then we've got the 2. How gorgeous is that? But they're facing away with this blindfold on. That's interesting. And the 3, that's actually statues. That's really nicely done. And the 4, and the 5, and the 6, that traditional moving away. And the 7, and the 8. Oh, that's beautifully done. And the 9, and the 10. And then moving again onto our court cards, we've got the Page of Swords, who is Achilles, the great hero, with weak heel. And then we've got the Knight of Swords, Perseus, the slayer of Medusa. And then we've got Queen of Swords, which is Athena, the goddess of wisdom, warfare and crafts. Doesn't she look awesome? And we've got the King of Swords being Odysseus, Odysseus, the cunning king and great teller of tales. Ace of Pentacles being a place name, being Demeter statue and Eleusis. Really nice cards with that golden apple look rather than a coin. And then we've got the 2 of Pentacles. I want to say are apples, but they are pentacles, but the golden apples. 3 and the 4 and the 5, that traditional winter scene there. The 6 and the 7 with the harvesting, and the 8 with the hard work, and the 9 the material wealth, and the 10 with the family card. It does work really well. Page of Pentacles being Midas, the king with the golden touch, and he is indeed very golden there. The Knight of Pentacles being Charon, the ferryman of the River of Styx. Oh, that's quite creepy. The Queen of Pentacles there being Artemis, the goddess of hunt, wild animals and nature. And the King of Pentacles being, is it Plutus, the god of wealth. So that's really interesting. Then we've got some extra cards again. We've got Thanks for Your Support card and the Pythia Tarot art card there. So we've got quite a few extra cards really for this deck. But as you can see, it is a beautifully designed deck, really well thought out in terms of the figures that they've used and linking obviously the Greek gods and goddesses to the tarot traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck. It's really nicely done. I wouldn't say this is a deck for beginner readers. I'd say this is a deck for collectors, to be fair. Is it something that you'd like? Is it something that you've already ordered? Is it something that you're now interested in? Let me know. I hope you found this video informative and interesting. Thanks for watching. Take care.